Hello, it's another Sunday, and it's the Way Show. Your favorite Sunday night, Sunday evening. Well, I don't know wherever you may be. You might be in the afternoon watching us. It's the Way Show, a weekly on YouTube Live. My name is Wally, and it's nice to be with you again today on a beautiful day. All the way today, all the way in, talking to you from the Media City. Well, if you are conversant with the UK and England, you know where the Media City is. Today, special guest on today's show is someone all the way from the United States of America, someone that is very versed in the art of PR, brand management, and obviously a strategist. So she is, a pioneer in her own way. She has her own private PR outfit all the way in the United States. And obviously she's been doing quite a lot with regards to PR internationally between Nigeria, US and Europe. I'm talking about no other person but Victoria Adigun. She is the CEO of Ovacom Media. Victoria, if you can hear me, welcome to the show. It's an honor for you to be on the show today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us. And so, Victoria, tell us yourself to start with. Tell us about who Victoria is. And again, and apart from that, tell us what Ovacom Media is all about.
Hello, everyone. My name is Victoria Adigun. I'm the founder of Ovacom Media. Ovacom Media is an international PR and branding firm. I'm all about taking brands to the next level. And by this, we strategically position our clients to best fit their needs and wants at the moment.
Okay, that's brilliant. So I had a look, read a little bit about you before you came on the program, obviously, when we invited you. And I noticed that Ovacom Media is 12 years old. Awesome. I mean, it's been a long way. So how's the journey been for you over the years? 12 years is not a joke. It's amazing.
Yes, it's actually been a journey because I grew up with Ovacom. I started in college, which is university in other countries, and it's taken me a lot of time. But one thing I could say is that I've learned how to be patient and persevere. So that's what's kept me relevant all this while over in my journey of success.
Okay, so tell us about PR. I mean, PR nowadays it's gone past what we used to know PR as in the past. It has evolved into something that is not exactly for any Tom, Dick, and Harry. I mean, you need to understand what the product is, what that personality is, what that image is before you obviously brand it. So tell us what changes you've met. I mean, it came across when you were starting and what it is at the moment.
So thank you for that question. Actually, PR now has really transformed and evolved. And it's also now more a fusion of the strategy behind it, also social media. Now, you'll wonder why I say that. Originally, when I started years ago in around 2008, 2007, that time it was all about just getting people placement. That's all people focus on, that if I'm on CNN, BBC, that's what you call PR, or Dallas Morning News. But now PR is kind of evolving that how do you strategically brand yourself? How do you keep yourself relevant through the trends and the times? No, it doesn't matter which sector you're in, as long as you're able to have a strategy behind it and you're consistent. People normally say that I simplify what PR is, and I tell people that you have to put everything in layman's terms now. Because now some people think that PR is not really necessary anymore because we have the influencers, social media. But what I tell people is that even when you're doing a campaign, you still need the PR aspect of media relations, which is to get people placement in top tier media outlets, then you still need the other facets, and it's all interconnected at the end of the day. So I hope I.
I'm so glad you brought about the issue of influencers. You know,
Yeah.
because they are like tons of them on Instagram, Twitter,
Absolutely.
and
Yeah.
what have you. And sometimes people sometimes wonder, because I've come across quite a few of my colleagues that probably got their own outfit, and they feel, well, I want to gain the mileage, and the way I can do it, I probably just need to contact somebody, an influencer on Instagram,
Yeah.
who obviously flashes, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
She's got quite a lot of followers, so let me just contact her, and I'll get people to. Would you say this kind of people actually, well, these influencers are kind of like redefining PR, as so to say?
Yes and no. I'm gonna break that down. The
Okay.
reason I said yes is because one, an influencer is a reflection of the PR that we media consultants have done for the client. No influencer wants to work with someone that probably doesn't have a little leverage. Doesn't matter if you're big, if you're upcoming or you're a known, they still want to see some potential. And where does that potential come from? It's PR. And what I tell people that when you're a growing brand, you still need to mix a little of marketing. Like when you're working with an influencer or you're advertising on a blog or newspaper, that's still indirectly PR. Because at the end of the day, that marketing is leading towards the time of you getting earned placement. What you're doing at that time is paid. By the time you're kind of relevant and your numbers are growing, because I know many brands focus on the numbers and likes now because of analytics. However, one thing is that once you grow to a certain point, then you'll be able to get earned media. And that's where the big time, the bigger brands would want to come after you and interview. And this is why I tell people that generally with the marketing and the PR, it's interconnected, and you need these influencers, you need these blogs, because at the end of the day, they help you with building credibility. So
Okay.
that's something
All
I
right.
think.
And do people, especially people you come across
Yeah,
in the United States? I know in Nigeria, it's everyone tends to want to go to an influencer, and everyone tends to
yeah,
want to go to a blog, so to say. But in the
yes.
United States, where you are, how is it over there? Are they also crazy about these so-called influencers over there?
Yes, they are. I normally talk to a lot of SMEs, small, medium enterprises in the diaspora, and most times they'll say, "Don't worry, I'm already advertising with such and such influencer or blog." Most times they'll tell me that, Victoria, you know what? I don't really think I need your service. I can hire a blogger to do it. And you know what? I've gotten to a point now that I don't argue on that because I've learned that it's because it's lack of understanding.
Mhm.
One thing is that, and one thing I tell people is that if I tell you invest in your PR and you don't get it, I like to be an example. I want people to learn because I invest in my publicity too. Like to get earned media, you have to work for it. Even me that I do PR branding, I'm still rebranding myself on a daily basis. And this is starting to open people's eyes with understanding that sometimes you can't just rely on a blog and the influencer to do the work. It's a whole magnet that connects together to give you that total credibility at the end of the day.
Okay, so I understand well from my knowledge as well a PR person myself. A
Yeah.
PR builds messages,
Yes.
announcements, and obviously storylines, and at some point storytelling.
Yeah.
Do people you come across, like your clients, do they understand that? Do they understand that? I know you mentioned a bit about it, but do they
Yeah.
really sit down with you and understand all these four phases of PR? Do they understand it?
What I do is that normally before I get any client now, I make sure that I set expectations in the consultation before we even get to the strategy side of it. Because what's happening is that many people just want to promote, advertise, brand themselves, but we have to know the foundation. Do you understand what you're doing anyway? And most times these days, with a lot of the SMEs I work with, I educate them, I enlighten them, then I empower them to show them the structure PR will place them in their business. And once some of them started doing it, they started seeing the value. And many of them now are even wanting to take their brand to the next level because of the little things I've done in the past.
And some other people also tend to believe that PR is, it's a lot of money, you know. So yeah, why should I invest my money in getting someone a PR consultant? Why should I do that? To people watching today, thinking about startups, I'm thinking about starting something. So why should I invest in people like Victoria?
You see, thank you for that question here. So what I tell everyone is that everything in life is a risk. If I tell people, if you can invest in buying designer clothes, you can invest in PR and branding, because the same money you buy Gucci, Prada, or any other designer, you can invest that money and put it into your brand, and it's going to give you a long-term credibility and joy. And not only that, it'll also attract other players that would want to work with your individual businesses. So now, when people say to me that PR is expensive, I said yes. Let me explain why it's expensive. It's expensive because, one, we're using our intellectual property. That's number one with PR. Number two, it's strategy. It's a service. It's not we're offering products. We're giving you service, time, our ideas, working with our teams to make sure that we're giving you the best fit for your budget. And this is something I tell everybody now. Yes, PR can be expensive, but one thing at Ovacom Media is that I work with everyone's budget. So it doesn't matter if you're a small business or you're a corporation. I will make sure that I work with what you can afford. So
that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Now I want to get back home to Nigeria now.
Okay.
Obviously, the way PR is over there in the States it's a bit different from how it's run in Nigeria, our country. So in the past few years, we've seen the social media itself actually come through and embraced by Nigerians. So I want to ask you this question. You've got dealings, you've got clients in Nigeria. So how would you say they've accepted, one, digital marketing, and the use of social media itself as a tool or as tools for boosting their PR or their image?
The good thing about it is that for some of the clients I've worked with in the past, many of them were very social media savvy already. And I'm not gonna lie, I learned some things from them too, because social media on the daily. So therefore you have to stay abreast of what's going on. Now, when I worked with clients in Nigeria in the past, many of them already knew what they want and were very intentional. And some of them will say, you know what, Victoria, because you have that international edge, I just want you to work with my Nigerian media team. And that I was more of a strategist. So even though they had their media plan already in place, I just brought in strategies to balance everything, to give them a global edge. So that's where I've come. Most times when I work with clients there, it's always been on that level because many of them already have a system in place. So I just add to it. I try not to tell them what to do too much. I just advise on how to make it better. Yes.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. And that's a nice point you picked up there, because quite a lot of every Nigerian now, as long as they've got a mobile phone, they're probably on Facebook, Twitter, or probably Instagram or what have you, TikTok and all that. So a scenario now I want to paint. I am a startup, okay, and I've got a product, all right, and I'm thinking, should I go public yet? I'm just going to launch this product. Should I just quickly get a PR person to make the public aware of my product, or should I just wait a bit before going to get a PR person? What's your take on that?
So what I tell people is that when they come to Ovacom Media, I ask them two questions. Are you wanting marketing or are you wanting PR? Because there's a difference. And the reason I said this is that most SMEs I work with are not ready for PR. They don't really need media relations initially. What I offer them is strictly like, for example, if you're the startup, I would say, sir, I can offer you brand strategy and a 6 month to 1 year package that's going to allow us to give you consistent marketing on our social media platforms, from the website, email marketing, text blast, and the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Let me tell you, as an SME, what I tell people is that even if you do these things consistently on a weekly basis, trust me, you're starting to build capacity and an edge for yourself. By the time we do this for 6 months as a startup, you'll see that someone would contact me as the consultant and say that, you know what, Victoria, hey, I've been seeing your client for the last 6 months. Do you think we can interview them? I get this a lot. And what I tell people is that, for example, as a startup, I tell people this is how my marketing works. The first 30 days, people are saying, Ovacom has come again. Who is this person? By the 60th day, I'll get messages on WhatsApp, email, say, Ovacom, who is this business I keep seeing you promote? By the 90th day, you see, that's 3 months. They'll say, okay, you know what, Ovacom, I'm going to contact the person because I see you consistently promoting it. So do you get the point, sir? That everything is a process. And I tell everybody, for SMEs, you do not need media relations immediately. First, start with the marketing and strategy. Once we get that done correctly, and when I'm saying marketing and strategy, it also comes with, is your logo, is your website, is your branding on point? Because once the branding is on point, the social media is on point, everything else will be consistently in place with the marketing. So this is the way I normally work. That I start them with a 90-day plan. Then from there, we will review it, then see if they're ready for real PR.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
This chat between you and I today is more of like an educational one. Obviously, of course, people watching obviously want to learn one thing or two from PR and why I need it.
Yeah.
So when you say strategic plan, would you agree that a strategic plan is like a roadmap to grow your business?
Absolutely, sir. Yes,
So
it is.
in what way?
I'll be happy to explain that. Let me use me as an example because I like to be practical. When I was growing Ovacom Media, people that knew me initially knew that I started with entertainment. And let me tell you, I've always thought I was going to go into a different field completely, but I caught the entertainment bug. While I was doing talent management first, and I started working with the likes of Olu Maintain, 2007, that time. I started noticing that, okay, I like social media. Mind you, for years, I've always been called PRO every time I've been in school. Now, you'll see with the roadmap, from being PRO, talent management, I went into events. I got my certification in corporate event planning in 2016. From there, in 2018, when I did a tour with Tiana, Tony Lawani, and etc., she told me one time that, Victoria, you know what, with your roadmap and everything you've done, just call it PR, because you went from events, music promotion, talent management, strategy, PR. Then my friend started saying, Victoria, focus in one niche, and you'll see that it covers every other service you do. And this is how I do my roadmap. And the reason I say this is because in life, we may say this is the direction we're going, but you have to look at what are you good at. And a lot of people are just looking at what's making me money. But no, you got to look at what's going to give you longevity and sustainability. And one thing I realized with me was that even when I was a well-known music promoter at that time, years ago, marketing was my thing. Businesses will still contact me. And this helped me grow over the years into becoming a full-fledged consulting firm now.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Now you've actually touched into my next question, which is talent management. Your other side, pre PR.
Yeah.
People tend to look at all these celebrities, musicians, actors, actresses, and think, my God, they must be very terrible to manage. How did you do it? I mean, for you, how was it for you? Are they, why not mentioning names now?
Yes, yes.
Were they really terrible to manage? Are they really very difficult individuals to manage?
You see the way I'm smiling? I always keep it positive. So let me answer your question. One thing I would say is that nobody is terrible or hard to manage. One thing about life is that you have to learn to work with everybody.
True.
Tolerance is the name of the game.
Mhm.
I always tell people, if you really want to be a successful talent manager, you have to learn to tolerate. You have to learn how to strike a balance between personal and business. That's another thing. And never add emotions. Now, talk about my experience working with some celebrities and other entities. There's been some good and some bad. However, I focus on the positive. And it's actually made me a stronger business person now because I've learned one thing is that as I was working with some of these celebrities over the years, I also worked on my self-development. Because as I'm working with them in my growing stages, I also have to work on myself, on certain characteristics. Because sometimes it's not always the celebrity that's doing something wrong. You, the manager, too, could be doing things the wrong way too. So it's all about striking that balance. Yes.
Yeah. So, and you at the moment you are doing quite a lot of work back in Nigeria, helping out with some state governments with a project. Do you want to let us know some of these projects that you are working on and why you are doing it?
So let me just to answer some of your questions. At the moment, because of everything going on, I've been, over the years, I've tried to dive into that. However, I switched over more into the philanthropic nonprofit. And the reason being is that, as I celebrated my 12-year anniversary, I told my team that, what, as much as I've been trying to go governmental, let me first rebrand and let me give back to the community. Because sometimes we want every time, but how are we really giving and making impact?
Yeah.
And that is the reason why I decided this year, I sent my operational manager to go in Ekiti State to visit the Erelu Adebayo orphanage last week to give some things to them and to have fun with the kids on my behalf. And the reason I did that is because I feel sometimes the best way for me as an entrepreneur to really be the change I want to see in the world, let me start investing in the next generation. And by this, I want to empower, I want to enlighten, and most importantly, I want them to look at me and smile that, if Ovacom can do this, I could even do better. And by
Sure.
this, I know the governmental projects will come eventually.
Yeah. So we've got quite a few established PR outfits in Nigeria that obviously go after the big guns. They go after the big accounts and stuff like that. How's it been with you competing, so to say, with these big guns, especially with Nigerian accounts and products?
So let me put it like this. I feel like I don't compete. I believe Ovacom is its own unique entity. And why I say that is that most brands internationally, when I'm trying to work with them, I tell them that if you're wanting to step off your shores and come to America, Ovacom Media is here. We are here to take your brand to the next level. And what I do is that instead of me looking at things of competing with my fellow colleagues who are doing well, I look at ways to collaborate. And that is something now, especially as I'm in 12 years, I'm always looking at ways to collaborate with other fellow PR firms because I believe there's enough money to be made for everyone. So there's no need for competition. So,
That's good.
yeah.
That's good. And again, what you've just said now brings me to your anniversary logo and motto, which is
Yes.
expanding brands globally.
Yes.
What made you choose that? I know you've been international,
Yes.
America, Nigeria. So
Yes.
are you thinking about probably going beyond? Permit me to use this word now. Comfort zone,
Yes.
America, Nigeria, probably Asia and Europe. Is that the
Yes.
plan?
Yes, you're actually in the spirit. One thing about Ovacom is that, just to be honest, over the years now, people have known me to be all about the US African business relations. However, one thing I realized that there's a lot more places to explore. And a lot of people still need the Ovacom experience. I like using that word, Ovacom experience, because once
Experience.
you come to Ovacom, you never go back. So definitely, I'm looking more into the European market now, the Asian and Caribbeans, actually, to expand into that region as we speak.
Hmm. The other thing I also want to pick up is the way Nigeria at the moment is viewed outside the shores of Africa. You know, it's I'm trying to put myself in your shoes now because you want to sell
Yes.
Nigerian, yeah, to
Yeah.
the international world, and
Yeah.
people are thinking, they're reading the newspaper and thinking, I just read about Hush Puppy the other day. I'm reading about and that. How difficult how difficult is it for you to now then sell this product, considering the fact that you've got some um, mini bad eggs here scattered here and there.
So I'm going to just say this now. I tell everybody I'm a proud Nigerian American because I'm going to just say it like this. Being born to Nigerian parents in the United States, I've seen the way they went from the lowest to the highest, and they did it legitly. And I can't see my parents, my aunts, my mentors who have worked hard to give me a good life, and I messed it up. Well, so with that being said, one thing I always tell people is that me, as a Nigerian, I'm here to promote my country positively. And by that, I run a clean business, and I tell everybody that just because A or B did something, that does not reflect on me because I am my own person and I am different. Number one. Number two, my main goal is that with whatever I do now with Overcome Media, I want to make sure that I'm projecting not only Nigeria but Africa in a great light. And that's the reason why I always try to make sure I do things in a very clean cut manner on social media, even with what I say, even when I interact in the community. I want to make sure that it's always going to make a difference, not now, but even in the future.
You are on live on YouTube, and I've been chatting with Victoria Adigun, who's the CEO Overcome Media. It's been brilliant chatting with Victoria since. But Victoria, just before we continue with our chat, just would like to read some of the comments coming in. Please,
Okay.
if you are on the live chat comments, live comment chat, if you've got any questions for Victoria, please feel very free to ask Victoria, and I'll pass it on to her anyway. So Victoria, we got people shouting out from Dallas, Texas.
Hi,
That's
everyone.
that's your place, you know.
Yes,
Saying
yes.
Oye, do you know what he's saying? Hello from Dallas. Hi, Oye. We've got our regulars from England. Sandra Sylvester saying hello. Ex Barca saying thumbs up for you, Victoria, for what you're doing. Grace Brown Johnson says focus is key, just like you mentioned at some point. You know, because you know what you want. Focus is key. Same with Remy Taiwo Obe saying integrity is key. I mean, obviously because they've seen that in you, and that's why they trust your brand. Nigerian Curling Federation at some point will probably be giving you a call. Let you know that now. It's letting out the bag. So it's the Nigerian Curling Federation. They're doing wonderful things in Nigeria. And they're saying hello to you. I am very sure right before or after this program, they probably will be contacting you to say, you know what, Wale, can you just link us up with Victoria? Yeah, thank you, Nigerian Curling Federation, for always staying tuned to this show. Fifi Bode, hello. Thank you for joining. So, Victoria, let's go back. Overcome is not just so it's broken up into different mini organizations. You got Overcome Events, Overcome Experience. I would like you to explain that for me. And obviously you got Overcome Consulting and Overcome Concepts.
Yeah.
So I know you mentioned Overcome Experience at one point. You want people to experience Overcome, but Overcome Experience, blog and TV. What's that all about?
Thank you. It's been a long time coming. As I was celebrating the 12-year anniversary, I decided to launch Ovacom TV now, which is going to be a different experience entirely. So not only are clients going to get full-blown PR, marketing, the whole shebang branding, we're also going to be giving them exclusive interviews. And we're definitely going to be working with our wonderful partners like yourself in the
Thank
UK
you.
to make
Thank
this
you.
happen. And the reason I decided to do the Overcome experience is because a lot of people have been asking me for years, Victoria, don't you do red carpet? Don't you do this? Don't you do that? And I was pushing it away. Then lately, people have been crazy, Victoria, just do it. That, it's already in you. So why not make it happen? So that's why I just started the Instagram page. It's still a work in progress. Then the Overcome TV too. We're going to get it in progress. And I know with wonderful partners like yourself, you're going to help me to get it going. Yeah.
Obviously, yeah. But it's a really good one because
Thank you.
England, UK is, well, let me just be cocky about this. Is where the action is, not the United
Of
States.
course. I mean, we know the US is there too. So, yes. Yeah.
Okay, so the part of your giving back to the society, especially in Nigeria,
Yeah.
is you recently sponsored a makeup it's a artist project.
Yes.
Yeah, could you explain more about that? Why did you pick makeup? And I know makeup is like more like trending quite a lot on
Yes.
Instagram because you see quite a lot of them. Yeah, it's a big business in Nigeria. So why did you choose that?
Thank you for asking. The reason why I chose to work with Cutie Dog Glam is because one, she's one of my, I would just say she's like a little sister, it's the younger sister, but she's also another female entrepreneur. And one thing at Overcome I'll say is this, that I'm very big on women empowerment and youth empowerment. I don't like to give fish. I will teach you how to fish. So when I was coming up with the Overcome at 12 initiatives I wanted to do, I decided to collaborate with Cutie Doll, and I said, you know what? I will do a giveaway and sponsor two ladies who will learn how to do makeup. And I said, if this goes right, which actually they're going to start tomorrow in Ikorodu, I said, if this works well, I will see how we can make this consistent. And the reason I decided the makeup is because I noticed everybody likes makeup. It works for influencers. It works for your everyday look, for business or anything now, because all of us are quarantined at home and people are doing more things online. You have to look good. Everything, perception is everything. And I felt, okay, let me start with the MUA empowerment program. Then next could be another thing. So I just wanted to do this to make a difference.
And how has COVID affected the business, Overcome Media itself? I know COVID actually gave back to the Way Show, despite all the terrible things. Yeah. So COVID gave back to the Way Show. So last week we had DJ Abbas, one of the topmost DJs. Yeah,
Yes,
exactly. So we had him, and he spoke to us about what he does in a caucus on every Friday. I was part of the show on last Friday. Brilliant show. So COVID is giving birth to different ideas. So in your case, how's it been?
What I would say is this: when the COVID hit, it was becoming a whirlwind because let me just say in March, and I like to give history in March, I had an event in Houston. COVID hit immediately the day I left Houston on the 16th of March. Wow. I had some events planned out for the rest of the year. I was even supposed to be in London next month, but I had to cancel everything. And when this happened, I said, I'm happy that I had diversified in other branches of businesses. Because if I'd only relied on events, it can make one unhappy. But the good thing is that all the other services I offer can be done virtually, and it doesn't affect anything. And to be honest, this period has really helped me personally because one, I've been able to rebrand. I've been able to take more certifications in our field. Not only that, I was able to really network and also get more clients. So for me, it was really more of a self-development, self-reflection period. That's really helped me now.
Hmm. It's brilliant. Another of your partnership is that struck me when I saw it was Real Niger Ladies of Dallas.
Yes.
When I heard that, first thing that came to my mind was Real Hollywood Wives, Real Lucky Wives,
Yes.
thinking, stuff like that. I don't know what they are about, and I want you to explain that one. The other thing is, are we going to see in the near future a reality show, proposed by Ovacom Media, which will feature real Niger ladies of Dallas?
You know what? I like your creativity. You're pushing a message. You know what? I made
Thank you. Thank you.
So just to answer your question, Real Niger Ladies of Dallas is a reality show focused on Nigerians in the Dallas area. And it's actually owned by my friend Jennifer Myro. She's the executive producer. She's someone that has been building it for some years. They're on season 3 now. And it's really helping us project Nigeria again in a positive light. Because one thing about that show is that all the women are highly successful in different fields. Some married, single, and they're all doing well. And one good thing about this is that with these type of partnerships I do, like I decided to collaborate with her for my Ovacom at 12 because iron sharpeneth iron. I like to use that word. I believe one thing, if I get some publicity on her platform and she does on mine, we all grow. Because I believe in the quote, we rise by lifting others. So that's why I decided to collaborate with the giveaway.
Oh, well, okay. So they already have it's already a reality show anyway.
Yes, it's well established, and it's also showing in Nigeria and England as well.
That's good. That's good. That's good. So, you at one point you were Nigerian Promoters Association's public relations officer.
Yes.
What was your experience like there?
It was a great experience, actually, because those were some of my growing years. And I want to give a shout out to Mr. Sonny. They no longer the organization, but he believed in me along with some of the other founders. And one good thing is that you see all these things I've done in the past helped my profile with the developmental stages of Ovacom Media. Because when nobody else believed in me, they allowed me to be the PRO. And although sometimes I made mistakes, but they still cheered me on. And this has helped me now. So
that's good. That's good.
yes.
Let me just take some few questions
Okay.
or comments. Remy Taiwo Obe wants to know the channel that the Real Niger Ladies is here. I don't know if you know that.
They'll show it on YouTube. You can check their YouTube channel, Real Niger Ladies of Dallas. Yes.
Okay. Oh God, I've started something today. So.
Yes.
So do tell your friend, the executive producer,
Yes.
that we will be having her on the show sometime to talk to us about the Real Niger Ladies. That'll be something. Oh God, I'm not sure I can pronounce this name. Aniki Shire. Sorry if I got that name wrong. I'm sorry. He or she says, "Hello, Victoria. Love from Dallas. Dallas in the house." So. Manfred Tabeo, I'm sorry again if I got that wrong. No Forward on girl, great personality.
Thank you very much.
Totally agree with that. Totally agree with that. So, what's the feature? 12 years of Ovacom Media. Okay, I know you've spoken a bit about what you intend to do. The next 12 years of Ovacom Media. What do we expect? More events, reality shows. Are you going to diversify into probably more entertainment, sports? What are we looking at?
To answer your question, and thank you for that. Actually, let me just break it down in the PR side of it. I am now, because of the experience I've had over the years, I've done a lot of hospitality, entertainment PR. But now I'm kind of diversifying more into the SMEs. I definitely want to go into sports PR. That is something I'm interested in, and talent management side of it. Also, I'm also looking into more of technology. So more of the ICTs and things like that, because I believe a lot of them have the capital, but they don't always really work on their marketing and image. So I believe that, if I'm able to work with a few oil and gas, ICT technology companies, or even the sports sector, it'll really take a lot of them to the next level.
That's good. And I tell you, already I've probably got you your first customer in sports. Like I said, the Nigerian Curling Federation,
Wow.
and I am more like the unofficial PRO of the NCF
Nice.
and the spokesman. So, so like I always say, NCF. Once this deal gets going on, I always want my percentage. I mean, I job person, I always want my 10%. My 10%. Yeah. So Victoria, it's been wonderful talking to you today. First, it started up more like an educational program, because obviously people watching will want to know what PR is. Like I said, has evolved over the years, and which you're doing magnificently over there in the United States. And with your vision, with your vision, projecting Nigeria's image, I must say to you, it's not easy. And that's what the way show is totally all about. I mean, getting people of Nigerian origin, getting them, those ones that are excelling outside the shores of Nigeria, to come in and talk to us about, what they are doing. And we want to thank you for coming in on the show.
Thank you.
And you are indeed a lady with a great personality. And we can wish you every best of luck that you deserve, and we will always be there, the way show, to partner you.
Thank you.
We're looking forward to you coming to England.
Absolutely.
And, obviously, we'll always be in touch. Before you go, Manfred said she has worked with the Cameroonian community in Dallas. Wow! Yes. So you're not just Nigeria. So it's just Cameroonian. So great personality, down to earth. Manfred, totally agree with you.
Thank you.
And Dion said, yes, commission is important.
Definitely, Dion.
Now, Victoria, you've heard that now. Commission is very important too.
I got you. I just want to chip this in, if you don't mind. My friend said there, I've been privileged to work with a lot of African countries, from Ethiopia, Nigeria, Cameroon, Ghana, and different countries. And one thing is that I'm very pro-Africa.
That's good.
Yes, and this has really helped me over the years, working with other countries.
Could you just give us a snippet of what you've been doing with these other countries in Africa, Ethiopia, Cameroon, that you mentioned?
Yes, I want to mention a few people now, so you'll get the history, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
When it comes to the Nigerian sector, some of the people that have really raised my hand with Ovacom is BNS Promotion in London. She's my mentor. She's a world-renowned UK promoter, and she really supports me. And I always tell people, it's not about money. It's that I'm going to mentor you and take you to the next level. When it comes in the Ethiopian sector, my friend Layla Mesho, she's the owner of Layla Entertainment. She's one of my biggest supporters because she's always there to recommend me for jobs. That's another thing in the African community that we need to work on more. Support your friends to make sure that we all rise. When it comes to the Cameroonian community, I've worked with a plethora like my friend Tabby and a lot others. Then when it comes to the overall African market, I was privileged to represent the DFW African Chamber of Commerce. I coordinated their events in 2014. So that gave me a privilege to meet like the late Nigerian ambassador, and also some other ambassadors from Burundi and other countries. So all of this kind of goes back to more of my educational background in political science, but it's all interconnected.
I tell you, and that's what we usually look forward to. I mean, Africans supporting each other. At the end of the day, we're from the same mother, Africa. It don't matter what country you are from. We are all from the same mother, and massive thanks to all those guys you mentioned, and we do hope those kind of partnership will continue, obviously. So like Dion said, yes, absolutely, support one another. And another comment from someone, Bumi, says, lovely show, I'm enjoying this show, glue to it every Sunday. Thank you, Bumi, for that. Tokumbo Abdul says, Hello, Miss Victoria. Love from Houston, Texas. Oh my
Oh,
God.
hi,
You know,
Toby.
people from Texas have taken over the show today. Big shout out to you all. Please
Everything in
always.
Texas is big. Everything
It is.
is big. So, we have to, we got to show each other love.
That's good. That's good. Much love to you guys from Texas, Dallas,
Yeah.
Houston. Thank you. And please keep watching this show every Sunday, 8 p.m.
Yeah.
I don't know what the time is in Texas now, but please, if you can.
It's actually 2:47.
Okay, please
Yes, yes.
try as much as possible to come on, support this show, subscribe to it, like all our past videos, including this special one with Victoria. She is your girl. She's your girl. She's our girl too. So
Yes,
support her, support us.
yes.
Subscribe to the show, and talk to your people, to your friends, your family about this show, and yeah. So thank you once again, Victoria, for coming to the show. It's been wonderful
Thank
chatting
you
to you
so much.
today. We look forward to that partnership, and hopefully one day, very soon, again, we'll bring you up to the show, probably to talk about a very massive, massive, massive account. I don't want to mention no names now, but
No
massive one.
problem. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Victoria, for coming. Thank you. So, all
Thank
the
you very
best.
much. Thank you.
Okay. So that's been Victoria Adigun. She is the CEO of Ovacom Media, a fast-growing media company in the United States of America. I mean, she's a brilliant to chat to. It's always good to see Nigerians and obviously Africans actually doing well wherever they are. And it's been a pleasure chatting with Victoria, and hopefully, like I said, when she struck gold, big gold, we'll bring her back in here to talk to us about how she's achieved that, what she's doing, and how we can obviously continue to support her. So thank you, Dion. Another very informative. Thank you very much. Very grateful. Thank you, Dion, for supporting. Thank you for your words. Nigerian Curling Federation, we wish you well. That's the message to Victoria. Thank you. So everyone that's made comment here today. It's been wonderful. And I've got my colleague and my partner in crime, Yomi, who's been on the technical side of the show to make sure this show comes to you live, clear, and bright every Sunday at 8 p.m. Yomi?
Yeah,
Victoria.
it's been a great show today. Well done.
Thank you.
I actually quite happy that a lot of people from Houston came to support Victoria. So it shows one love for Africa over there in diaspora.
Yeah, exactly.
But I've learned quite a lot about PR and brand as well today. So I think it's something we can apply on the show as well. So
exactly.
We'll be taking notes.
We'll be taking notes. So we had a lecturer in today, so we'll be taking notes of what she's mentioned. So Yomi, we've got 10 minutes to round up. So I think we're just going to round up with what happened yesterday. There's no way.
No, don't get me started on that. I don't.
There's no way we do the way show that we wouldn't talk football. I know you're still licking your wounds after.
No, I don't talk about that. From the referee to the coach. To the players, angry at everybody,
Angry at everybody. Okay, all right. But there's something good coming out of that. Chelsea are still in the Champions League. I don't know how they're going to survive.
I'm not sure. Now we've lost two players that are crucial to that match, so I don't know.
Exactly.
We're actually weaker now going into this match than we were like a month ago.
Yeah.
And now we have a crucial match. We're actually 3-1 down, isn't it?
Yeah. So 3-0.
3-0 down. So it's we need a miracle, So to score 4 goals and progress. But if we're able to do that, which is very unlikely, then who knows? It might be 2012 all over again. But so far,
exactly.
We'll see what happens.
If Liverpool do it to Barcelona. Although, you never know. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Chelsea might be 2012 all over again. Yeah. But one thing is, for me, I'm actually just looking forward to the beginning of the season. in September, basically. After the COVID, before the COVID, actually, I've written off this season. And then when the COVID struck, I kind of have hope that, okay, let's just finish well. Make the Champions League, which was good. But I was very disappointed we didn't win yesterday, Robin. It's
the icing on the cake.
It was 2017 all over again, and it was so annoying. But for us, I mean, I just hope now that we've used this year to learn, and some of these boys are not up to scratch, can just be fade off. And then when the new boys comes in, I hope they hit the ground running. I hope we don't run into a situation. Right now, we can't carry any players. So for us to compete with the three clubs, the two Manchester clubs and Liverpool right now, we need the players to just, come in the same form we bought them. That's what I'm saying.
That's true.
With that, then we can say, okay, fine. In the next 2 years, we might win the title again. So.
Well, fingers crossed. You never know what will happen in next season. So, just like you said, the two Manchester clubs are, just like setting the pace at the moment. Liverpool, obviously, will not want to let go of the crown. And again, don't forget Arsenal. They've got a brilliant coach who obviously the players are now trying to buy into his system, buy into his tactics, buy into his man management. So all he needs is just to get a few players that he probably needs to show, the defense, the midfield, and obviously keep Aubameyang. And there probably will be another force, to reckon with next season.
To be honest, I don't see Arsenal as a serious club that way for us. I mean, at least not as this season coming, I don't think they have enough players to. I think Manchester United, Liverpool, and Man City are the main threat. The main teams we have to try to overtake if we want to win the title. And because Arsenal, the way they set up, I don't think they can be consistent over 38 games to be a big problem for us. But I mean, one-off matches like this, they will be very dangerous. They have very good squad. But because when you look at the team, we were very unlucky yesterday, right? If Arsenal had the same problem we have, if they had Kante, William injured, and then during the game, the two other players there, they get, lose them to injury, I don't see them being able to compete. Yesterday they were quite lucky. They got all their first 11 on the pitch. This is about in the last 2-3 weeks was the first time this is when I've seen them have Lacazette, Aubameyang, and who's that? And Ceballos and Xhaka. The first 11 they started the season with on the pitch. So they were very strong yesterday, and we are almost at our weakest. So,
well, I think in about a month or so, we should be able to get back to you the new season. So hopefully,
I'm looking forward to that.
Chelsea will have learned the lessons, and especially Frank Lampard, first time managing a big club. And no disrespect to Derby County now, but first time managing a very big club, and hopefully he would have learned a lesson or two on how to manage players, on how his team ought to play. And you'll be able to put that into use come next season. So,
just to round up, I wanted to ask you a question, actually. Who will you expect to be in Chelsea? Who will you like to... Two players that you love to come to Chelsea this next season? I know we're looking at the Kai
Havertz.
Which other players do you love? And especially defense.
I like Oblak, the goalkeeper from Atletico Madrid.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we did a new goal.
I love that. If Chelsea could get Oblak, that would be massive. Another person, Koulibaly from Napoli. If Chelsea could get him, that's it. And obviously keep N'Golo Kante, keep William
Zuma as well.
Keep William, and then for Lampard to please put his hands up and get himself a decent defensive coach.
or even a very experienced assistant manager, you know.
That's what I mean. Assistant manager who is obviously to building the defense, you know. So if that is done, those three people, and that's it. Chelsea will be challenging. Will be challenging for the title, no doubt about that. If they can get in those three players, Oblak from Atletico Madrid, Koulibaly from Napoli, and a defensive coach. If all those three are there, then if he doesn't win the league, then he should get it next season.
So that's it. So
that's it for this Sunday. It's been a wonderful Sunday. The weekend has been wonderful, sunny all through, you know. But yeah, it's been wonderful, and special thanks again to Victoria Adigun, all the way from Dallas, Texas, and who joined us today to talk about PR, brand management, and startups. Very nice having you, Victoria, if you're still watching. And to cap you all, we just spoke, Yomi and I spoke about the way forward for Chelsea. And if anyone in the Chelsea boardroom is listening or watching, try as much as possible to implement our little advice to you. So that's how we roll. And that's our package for this Sunday. Next Sunday, 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. UK time. We'll be right with you. And thank you for joining us today. To everyone that's made comments, that asked questions, thank you. And hope to see you next Sunday. Please don't forget to subscribe to The Way Show. Like us on Instagram, theway.show. It's a mouthful. I keep getting that wrong. So The Way Show, just search for us on Instagram. And thank you for everything. And please do stay safe. Anything you do this week, stay safe. Thank you and best of luck. Bye for now.